Welcome back, guys, to the Kai Paul podcast. Today, we are so excited to have Tirza from Tirza Artistries here with us. And Tirza, you have an amazing story that has inspired me so many times, and I love hearing it over and over. You started in the beauty and nano brow technology at about age like 16, and like now you run your own company. You're an entrepreneur. You're a content creator. And I'm so excited to have you on the show with us today.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely.
I'm excited.
And so, yeah, I would love just for you to share, because it's such a cool story, just to share a little bit more of who you are, what you do, and kind of how you started in the beauty industry.
Definitely. So I've been in the beauty industry for going on 10 years now. I started pretty young when I was 16 in high school. Okay. My mom was always working in beauty boutiques in the beauty industry, so I got inspired by her initially. I started off with doing makeup first. I was doing that for a couple years as a side gig.
Okay.
It was very part-time. I guess I was working like 2 other jobs and then doing makeup on the weekends. And then
you're working 2 jobs and doing makeup on the weekends. Wow,
yeah, I was working quite a bit. I just wanted to be able to, help out. I mean, like buy things for myself that also help out my family, and that's how I kind of started. And then I had the passion of makeup beauty is my passion, right? So I started off young. My cosmetologist teachers, they helped me out a lot. I started doing makeup for my friends and then their cousins and their friends and their moms and their aunties, and it just kind of grew from there. And only just in the last 4 years did I get into nano brows. So that's a more cosmetic tattoo, is a more serious service, but it's my new passion.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And I remember telling me one time when you were talking about how you got started that when you first started, you actually didn't get paid. You did like work in exchange for beauty products.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with the Hudson Bay, but it's like I would say like older school department style environment where they sell beauty products and they would have galas. So my mom worked at a counter, like the Estee Lauder counter, and she knew that I loved makeup. So she would bring me on to just do makeup for free, but they would pay me in products. So that's actually how I started building my makeup kit, because it is quite extensive to build your own makeup kit. Wow. It's expensive, right? So I started giving my time and practicing. That's how I started practicing makeup on all types of people, skin types, different ages, everything. And then I started slowly building my makeup kit.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's awesome. And you started that at 16?
Yes. Yeah, I was 16. Yeah, it was pretty scary, but it was fun, but it was a really scary experience. But when you get used to it, it helped me like a lot.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that, because I remember when I was 16 too. I really started getting into photography and videography, and I was like, I want to do this. I have this dream. And a lot of people were just kind of like, no, like you need to go get an education. You need to go to university, kind of take a standard career. But it's like, it was something like different. And I was like, oh, how am I going to do this? Because much like in the beauty industry, a lot of times when you want to go into like a non-typical career, you need to build your portfolio, you need to build your makeup kit, you need to build these things, and it takes money and time, right? Yeah. And it's kind of like just having that hustle mentality, like I want to do this. Yeah,
it's definitely a grind at the beginning because you have to build from the ground up. Versus when you go to school, it gives you a push a little bit. Going to school, it helps you. But I did do 2 years at SAIT. I did my business admin diploma. My mom really wanted me to do an administrative job. Like she has like that traditional kind of mindset. Yeah. So I did go to school for 2 years, but I really did not enjoy it, to be honest. It did help me with marketing and like just like the book side of it, the educational side of it. But I knew I wasn't gonna end up doing like working a corporate job, to be honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So would you say you needed that university to do what you're doing now?
No.
Yeah. Same. Like my parents were like, we've saved your whole life for your education. You have to do something. And so I went, and like there was a little bit of overlap to what I do today. And there was like definitely some valuable things that I took. But I think anyone that would want to do kind of like start and be an entrepreneur doesn't
Yeah, like you really don't, especially now with all the education you can get online. You really do not need it. And I don't want to say like don't go to school, but it's for certain things. It's very useful, obviously. And I did learn like community and how to work in a group environment. So I did learn a lot of things like that. But I wouldn't say that I extremely needed it because a lot of the textbook stuff, like I don't even remember it now. So
Yeah.
that's just the truth. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, that's super awesome. Well, as you know, the show is really about inspiring young people, especially young people that want to be entrepreneurs or just want to succeed in life, whether that's in their career that they want to choose. Because as you said, sometimes if you want to become a doctor, you need to go to school,
Yeah.
right? Like there's certain things that you can't just learn off the internet.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what the show is geared towards. So what would you say, growing up, you started at 16, basically started running your own business at 16, very similar to myself in photography. What would you say were a couple like key things that you learned along the way that you would really attribute like your success to?
Well, early on, I learned pretty fast because I was doing it on my own. Essentially, the main thing I would say is investing everything you can back into your business at the beginning. Like, it's really hard to do because you're making a little bit of money here and a little bit of money there. But if you just continuously reinvest
It's
it,
so good. So
yes,
good.
it's so good. Like, that's what I did. Everything that I made, I ended up buying more products, or I ended up, at the time I didn't know what like marketing was or anything like that. So I didn't invest into marketing right away. But in my products and in my craft and in my like education, that's what I would say, like put it all into your business first initially, and you will like really speed up your that like learning curve, Yeah.
I can totally agree with that because I think, especially as a young person, like I got my first paycheck I started when I was 16, but I got my first paycheck ever, I think, when I was 17. And and it was $500. And I was like,
And
oh
that's
my
a lot.
goodness.
Yeah, like
Someone
for back
paid
then,
me
yeah.
$500 to
Yeah.
make a video, right? I was like so excited. And I was like, oh, I could go buy this and I could go do this trip and I could go do this with my friends. And it was so exciting. And I did. Like when I started out, I just started like doing that and like just doing fun things and not investing back into the business. And by the time I was 19, I realized like, no, I need to like start buying more camera gear. I need to build my portfolio. I need to do these things. And I think a lot of times young people kind of, especially when they start in something entrepreneurial, they start making money. And then it's very easy to get into that temptation of spending on yourself.
Even now it is like, it's really hard to.
Yeah.
So being strict is what I recommend, especially at the beginning with your money and just managing it and just like putting it all back into it. Like find ways for you to, live frugally as much as you can and then invest in your craft because you will just grow so much faster.
Absolutely, right? And like I think especially as people progress, it's like the temptation to buy a car or to go into things is kind of like, no, like take that money, invest it, buy better gear, start marketing, right? Build your portfolio, because I think you start with friends and family. That's how I started, right? It was with my parents' friends, and that's kind of, you start doing videos, you start doing makeup for your aunts and your friends, right? And that's kind of how you start. But in order to build, because eventually they're not going to need videos every month, or they're not going to need makeup every single month.
Yes.
And so like to build that clientele, investing back in, that's like so powerful, but it's hard.
Yes, it is really hard, but it's a really good thing to think about.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. Absolutely. Yeah. So invest back in your business. That's so good. That's so good. So you're in the beauty space, and there's a lot of publicity. There's a lot of social media around the beauty space. I know something that I struggled with when I was younger, 16, 17, 18, even into my very early 20s, was a lot with my self-image. I struggled a lot with my self-image. I struggled with a lot of self-hate. I didn't like my hair. At the time, my mom was cutting my hair, so I learned a very valuable lesson. Find a good hairstylist. There's just things that you can do. But I struggled with a lot of self-hate, right? Like I didn't like who I was as a person. And I know that if I struggled with that, and talking also with younger guys that are in that same age now, especially because of how much social media puts kind of like that image of how you're supposed to look or who you're supposed to be, it puts a lot of pressure. But if guys are facing that, I can only imagine like what girls are going through in that regard. So what would you say has kind of been your take and what you have seen on that kind of that side in the beauty industry?
Yeah, so the beauty industry is like obviously more cutthroat, especially for women. Women are always going through, girls and women are always going through that mindset, I feel like, because of social media. It's really tough to manage your thoughts and your negative thoughts. So being in the beauty industry and dealing with that myself, what I've noticed and what's helped me is just, I guess, not letting it overtake my emotions. Because when you're dealing with business, as a female, I have to constantly tell myself, and like, for example, my fiance constantly tells me this, is like, you want to separate your emotions from your business. And when it comes to physical appearance with social media, that plays a huge role with females, especially being in the beauty industry. Like, you kind of have to show up in a way where you're looking good because you're in the beauty industry, but at the same time, you don't want it to overconsume your mindset as well, especially because there's so much, like, Instagram, like all these beautiful girls or this and this, but a lot of it is not realistic. So you kind of have to just manage that headspace. Like, your headspace is so important. It's so important to just stay in a peaceful mindset. And I learned that later on. Like, I never really like, I struggled with the same things you did.
You did. Okay.
Oh yeah, especially because when I started, it was when Instagram just started.
Oh wow.
Like, my Instagram, my makeup page, or now my Tirza Artistries or Tirza Romero page, is the same one I had when I started it in high school.
No way.
Yes.
It's the same one.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So like, I grew.
Go check that out. Check that out.
Yeah, Tirza Romero.
There.
I started when Instagram just started and when YouTube was booming. Wow. So I learned everything on YouTube and Instagram, but at the same time, it does have its downfalls, right? You're constantly posting things. You're like, who saw this? Or I want to look like this. I want to look like that. I think just managing your screen time and managing your mindset, like, as best as you can. It's kind of hard, but just kind of make sure you're mindful of it.
Wow. Yeah, that's so good.
I hope that kind of answers the question. Yeah, no, it's a tough question to answer.
It does. It really does. Yeah. And so what would you say were a couple, because you said you struggled with that. I struggled with that. I know I had a few techniques and things, but what were a couple things that helped you overcome that?
I would say probably just not overthinking. That's a huge one for me. I'm a huge, like, over analyzing. Like, I do that so much. I overthink so much.
Yeah. Welcome. If you're an overthinker, welcome to the club.
Yeah. I think it's pretty common. But like, for example, when I posted a story, like, don't go and watch it 5 million times, make sure everything's good, because I would do that, and it's like kind of toxic to do that. So I would just not overthink about everything, or like care too much about what everybody's gonna think, because at the end of the day, people will resonate to who you are as a person. The right people that come in your life, they don't care about how you look. So it's like, when you start caring too much, then you start attracting, like, the wrong people in your life. Wow. That's what I learned.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is so
it's
good.
true.
Wait, say that again. That was so good.
So when you start what did I even say?
When you start caring too much, you start attracting the wrong people into your life.
I guess it just comes to, like, being, like, your genuine self. Like, if you're on social media, is like inevitable. You're gonna have to grow your business. You have to showcase yourself. I truly believe that if you want to stand out in a business now, especially a service-based business, you have to show who you are, because then you will stand out as an individual, which is really tough for people, because I see that a lot in some, like, students I've had and stuff. They don't want to post their faces on Instagram, but you kind of have to. And if you stay true to yourself, you will attract the right clients. You will attract the people that like see you, and like, but when you start being, like, a little fake, but not in a bad way, or like you start caring too much about the image, it starts changing that, like, narrative for people, and people see that, like, it will translate through social media.
Yeah. That's so good. So if you care too much about the way you look, you're going to attract the wrong client, or you're going to attract the wrong people. That's so good.
Yeah.
And I think it's so true, because, like, a lot of times, especially young people, as they're struggling with that, like, the reality is not everyone's going to like you. Like, not everyone likes me. I don't click. I have a very outgoing personality, and not everyone likes me. And I struggled with that, because I'm a person that I want everyone to like me.
Same. I never had, like, I don't like having issues with people. I'm very, like, chill, mellow. Like, I don't like confrontation. And I always struggled with that. But it's crazy, because me, like, 2 years ago was very different than, like, me right now. And it does make a huge difference when you think that way. Like, it's a little tiny, like, mental mind switch. Like, it changes everything. It's like mindset.
Yeah, totally. Your mind is so powerful, right? And just coming to accept that fact that not everyone is going to like you, and that's okay, right? And by being likable to the people that are, like, that care about your personality, that's who you want in your life. That's who you want in your clients. That's who you want as your friends. And so if you're able to be true to yourself and just accept the fact that not everyone's going to like you, I think that's so important. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's so good. That's awesome. I love that. Okay, so what would you say, to young guys, young girls, men, women that are kind of like, maybe they're in school, or maybe they're already started a career, maybe they kind of are a little bit lost, but they're passionate about the beauty industry, or they're passionate about art, they're passionate about something, but they just kind of don't really know how to get started. Like, what would your recommendation be to those people?
I would recommend leveraging education online. Like, implement research. Like, do a little bit of research now. Back then, when I was in high school, I didn't have those resources. We had YouTube, but I didn't know you could just go on YouTube and search anything or find anything. You could literally find any information. Like, there's ChatGPT now.
Totally.
There's AI. You can literally go on ChatGPT, be like, how do I do this? How do I start a business? How do I rent out a studio? What permits do I need? Do like an hour of research at least. And then figure out what you want to invest your time in. And then just go ham. Like, go for it. And
just go ham.
Just go ham.
Just get it done.
Yeah, like, just put everything into that once you figure out it's exactly what you want to do. Because, for example, like me, I feel like I didn't really have to go to school, but then I got student loans to go to school, and now I'm still paying my student loans. You know what I mean? So things like that, it's like 2 years of my time that I really didn't have to do, but I did it to like please my mom, or like, just go to school right away, So I would say just do a little bit of research, really narrow down what you want and who your client is, who your niche is, and then boom, you'll figure it out.
I love that. I think that's so good. And you said something that kind of stuck with me. Do 1 hour of research. 1 hour of research can change your life. Literally 1 hour of research can change your life. Like, it's crazy because like, I think a lot of times, and this was something that I was really stuck with in my later teenage years. I was like, I want to do this, but I didn't know how, right? And like, now 16, 17, 18-year-olds, like, anyone has access to things that we didn't have, like you said, right? Like, you can go on to any AI and literally just type in, I want to become a photographer. Give me 10 steps to get there, right? I want to get into the beauty.
Exactly.
And it will tell you. But, I think something, and I would love to hear your input on this, besides doing that 1 hour research, which will literally launch you so far ahead of everyone else, is crazy. But also, once you kind of have done that research and you know where you want to go and kind of your niche, job shadow. Like, I've had boys, 16, 17 that have come to me and say, hey, I want to become a photographer. I want to become a videographer. Can I follow you around for a day? And I think a lot of times we kind of have this, especially as a younger person, we have this insecurity that, oh, what happens if someone say no? But a lot of times, like, I love teaching and imparting. That's what life is about, is sharing the knowledge that I have. And I think you actually even do some teaching, like, online and stuff. Do you want to just talk about that and kind of like the power of job shadowing and learning?
Yeah, definitely. I think finding a mentor as soon as you can helps a lot. Just find the people that do what you want to do. Find the people that live the life that you think you want. You'll learn from it, and just go ask questions. Like, if they don't respond on DMs, or they don't respond to call or whatever, next person, you know what I mean? Because there are people like you and me who want to share information, and there's so much people now with podcasts, this and that, social media. So definitely. And when it comes to wait, what did you just ask me? Sorry, sometimes my brain like veers off.
Teaching. No, it's okay.
Education.
I'm like that squirrel, sometimes.
Yeah, literally. Education. So yes, I actually do offer like some coaching style education on my social media. My dream is really to help out the individuals that are in the beauty industry that don't know where to go. Because when I was working, one of my first bigger jobs, I would say, I helped like my mentor teach, and she would teach lots of students, and I would be there and I would see the flaws. So like, they'd be paying like a couple thousand in education, but then they didn't know where to go after that. Okay, I learned how to tattoo, but what now? I don't know how to run a business. You know? So my goal right now is just to give advice. I love sharing information. Like, I don't like to hold on to anything or gatekeep. I love educating, and that's what my goal is with my social media. And
Okay, so if you follow along to the end of this, we're going to actually put all Tirza's links. So make sure you go check her out. Check out her social media. Check out her teaching. I've seen some of her videos. You know, something that I really admire about you is like you're a makeup artist and a nano tattoo brow artist.
Yeah.
And you have also become a full-on videographer. You got like a full camera set up and you're like putting out professional videos. Like how is that, like that pivot for you?
Oh, it was challenging, but I did like a course. And that helped
online
me.
courses.
Yeah,
there you go, right?
I did an online course that my fiance helped me find, and it actually helped me a lot. So like they taught me how to set up, and then so it was actually challenging, but it was easier because I got told what to do, so it makes it easier. And then I just found an editor from the Philippines who edits my videos.
There you go.
Editing's really hard, so if you can outsource it.
It is.
Sure you know about that.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yeah, so that's how
awesome.
I got into it.
That's super cool. Yeah, and I think there's value, you know, a lot of times, especially when I started out, and sometimes you do need to do this when you first start out. You need to do everything, literally everything, because you have no one and you can't afford to pay people, right?
Yep.
But as you start growing, would you agree with the statement? Don't fear paying people to do what you're not good at.
Oh yeah, definitely. As soon as you can start outsourcing jobs, do it, because think about like your time is money. Like that's what you should always think. If there's like admin doesn't really make you money, but you have to do it to run a business.
Correct.
And a lot of artists, like nano artists, they don't really have the mindset to be dealing with admin, or they don't like it generally. So like as soon as you can and you gain more money, you know, you grow a little bit of your money, then go outsource admin or go get an app that does it for you.
Yeah.
Same with editing. I used to edit all my videos. I used to watch so much YouTube videos on how to do it. And now that I have somebody that does it, did that. Yeah, like you have to. Everybody does it at first, right? And it's good to learn about it and do it yourself. But then once you can pay for somebody to do it, just do it as soon as you can.
Yeah.
It saves you time, which saves you money.
Exactly, because you could be spending 6 hours editing one video, or you could spend those 6 hours networking, connecting with clients, and doing a nano brow session, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, but don't be afraid to hustle in the beginning. You kind of got to.
It actually helps to like learn things on your own as well, because then when you outsource it, you know how to do it and you know exactly what you want. So it's just easier for you to like delegate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so you've kind of come to this place. You're running your own company. You have your own space that you use, and so kind of like, what are your goals like now moving forward? What's the next chapter?
My goals are always like shifting and changing and evolving.
I can relate to that. Relate to that.
But so I opened up my own space here in Didsbury. So that was a huge like goal that I achieved, and a lot faster. Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm so happy about that. So my next goal is I'm opening up a small room style studio in Calgary.
No way.
I will be servicing my clients in Calgary and in Didsbury both. And then eventually I want to get into full-time education.
Okay.
So coaching style education. I want to become more of a virtual coach. I don't really want to be tattooing for hours and hours every single day. So I want to transition into education.
Okay. I love that. Okay, so I think just for the viewers and the listeners, I know everyone that's going to be listening from your socials will be able to relate, but people that are coming or on the show for the first time might not understand what you mean by tattooing, because tattooing isn't the typical, like, you know, on the arms here. It's so, do you want to just kind of give a snapshot of kind of what you do?
Okay, so nano brows is what I do. A lot of people don't know what it is. It's a form of cosmetic tattooing for the brows specifically. I would say it's the most advanced version of cosmetic tattooing because it's so beautiful. It's more hyper realistic.
So just 1 second. So for the guys, it's your eyebrows. Just so in case you were following. And
let me simplify it for the dudes out there. It's literally a tattoo on your brow. And no, you do not need to shave your brows to do it.
Have you gotten that question?
Yes, like every time I have like my girls come in for brows, they're like, my hubby said that I have to shave my brows. Are you going to shave my brows off? I'm like, no.
My hubby said, don't listen to your hubby when it comes to your brows. Okay?
Exactly. It's just, It's just
I love
a newer cosmetic tattoo procedure that gives you your brows but better. So
Wow.
it's not like you don't want it to look like a tattoo. So I specialize in hyper realism.
Wow.
So the goal,
Hyperrealism.
yeah, the
Wow.
goal is for people to be like, did you do something with your brows? Like I can't tell, but they look so good.
Yeah.
You don't want it to look like Sharpie brows, you know, like dark
Sharpie
dark
brows.
brows or like a tattoo. It's not like a
Yeah.
tattoo.
Yeah.
It's very
It's
superficial,
art.
very natural.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the snapshot. That definitely made me laugh.
Yeah.
I can't believe my hubby said.
Yeah,
you need to
yeah, because a
shape
lot
your
of people
brows.
don't know what it is.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I kind of do have to kind of educate a little bit on
Of
what it
course.
is. It's a newer service. I guess in North America, it's a bit newer. But yeah.
That's really cool. And yeah, I've seen what you do, and it's beautiful. Like you are
Thank you.
super talented. So it's so cool that
Thank
you're
you.
taking kind of that step into coaching and doing online courses and stuff, and teaching like passionate young people that are want to get into the beauty space how to kind of run their company. That's super awesome. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. Okay, so wow, I can't believe time is flying. It's been,
I know.
It's been so good. I feel like there's so many more things to talk about, but we only have so long on the show. So I do just kind of want to ask, as we kind of head towards the end of the podcast, what would be something that you would just kind of want to leave, that you would want to leave young people with, or anyone really that is aspiring to be an entrepreneur in the beauty space, outside of the beauty space? Kind of what would be kind of like some life tips or some life lessons that that you could just drop some wisdom on us?
I feel like this is a tough one because I've learned so much. But I would say don't be afraid to say no.
The power of
And
no.
yeah, and whenever you get scared, just jump. Like when you're feeling nervous or scared to do something, it means you're on the right path. Like just do it, just jump, and you will eventually get there.
Wow.
That's what I did. So yeah.
Face your fear. Just
Yeah.
jump into it.
Yeah, like once you do it once, it becomes less and less scary. Like for example, even saying no. You say no once and it becomes more like easier and easier to say no later when it's like obviously the right time to say no, of course. But yeah, those are like the two things, like the two main things that like have really like helped me.
That's amazing. And I think it's so true, because I think a lot of times it's scary to say no. It's scary to tell someone no, that you won't do it. You won't do it for that price, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're starting out, you're just kind of like, you give your prices like $200 and they're just kind of like, oh, I can do 50. And you're kind of like, I don't know, can I say
Yeah.
no? And it's like, it's so hard, but like having that courage to say no and to just, I love that, to jump.
It's really tough at the beginning, especially when you are doing a service-based business. It's hard to say no to clients, for example. And I'm not saying like take every single client you can. Like if you want, at the beginning, I didn't say no to any client. And I would get so many people that would be like, can you lower your price to $50? Or can you do this? Like when you charge less, you'll get those kind of clients where it's like they try to haggle. And it's okay to take them on, but eventually you have to value yourself and you have to know when to say no. If you know somebody's not up for your best interest, then that's when you know when to say it. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, you heard it, guys. Whether you're becoming an entrepreneur, want to become an entrepreneur, or just in life in general, the power of no. Be courageous. Like, be able to say no, and be true to yourself and who you are and what your dreams and passions are. And even if you're scared, just take the jump.
Yep.
It's worth it.
Exactly.
It's worth it. Well, thank you so much, Tirza. It was awesome
Thank
to
you.
have you. All her socials are up here, above here somewhere, so you can just check them out. But thanks for being on the show, and just wish you the best in all that you're doing as you continue to inspire young people.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Take care.